It happens, doesn't it? It happens. Well, thank you for stopping by. And what are you cooking today, Nuestra? And I'm hoping I'm trying to pronounce your name. Oh, goodness. I wish I knew. What does Nuestra mean? Is that your family name? But then I see family. I think that middle word is family. Liliana. Okay, Liliana. Nuestra, what does Nuestra mean? Ooh, cow tongue tacos. Wow. So you're having beef for dinner as well. Nuestra had a birthday. Happy belated birthday. And wow, your family they had a great surprise barbecue for you yesterday. That was so nice. Umbo family. Oh, what a great name. Umbo family. I love that. So if you are new to KendyK All Day, let me tell you a little about my channel. First of all, thank you. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. And I really, can I say this? I really appreciate all those kind folks who, because and they probably thought I was having another quiet or silent live, which I do at times, but typically I would put that in the description box, or I put it in a pinned comment letting you know that it's a silent live. And so no wonder people were kind of just hitting the like button and moving on. Wow, that is so funny. But anyway, let me tell you a little bit about my channel. So I am new to this YouTube streets. I've had my channel for a little bit over a year, and I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers by April 15th. Yep, April 15th. That's our tax deadline in this country. The deadline to file your federal income tax. Or if you're like me, apply for an extension. So, I need 92 subscribers. I need 92 friends to join me in these YouTube streets as a subscriber. So consider subscribing to your girl. And thanks for hitting that like button. The like button is the thumbs up button. And I know sometimes some people are driving, they're unable to hit the like button. And then if you're using a television, you kind of need to hit your OK button on your remote. If you have an enter button or an OK button twice, then you should be able to go to the upper row and then arrow over until you get to the thumbs up, the like button. Y'all, thank you for engaging with me without any sound. Do y'all know I have been talking for, what, the last 50 minutes? Wow, that is utterly amazing, but not so uncommon. Thank you, Liliana, because wow, thank you for being courageous and letting me know, girl, you don't have any sound going on over there. Y'all, the most. And you know, at one point I thought about it, but I never still looked carefully at the icons on the side of my phone because I record from my iPhone. And at one point I recall when I was still working with the meat, I said, y'all drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, because I wasn't sure if I was speaking loud enough or not. And nobody put a 1. So that should have made me look, that is so wow. Wow. Right. It's okay. I'm glad you're here at this moment, Nuestra, and I'm going to add you as a moderator. And so stay as long as you like, but next time you join me, you can help me to monitor. I would really appreciate that. And that's how we do. Like, YouTube is just a community of folks who are, to me, I heard this and I've been repeating it ever since because it just resonated so strongly for me. YouTube is about you, KendyK, being KendyK. YouTube is about you being you. And I love that. I love that. Yeah, so if Nuestra is on our chat today, and it's Nuestra Familia. Yeah, you're welcome, Nuestra, because Nuestra I've connected with over the last week and a half or so, and it just so happens we've clicked because we do a lot of cooking on our channels. And Nuestra is always cooking for her family, and I'm mostly cooking for KendyK. And I do have a dog. The dog's name is Sheba, but I don't feed the dog the people food. So yeah, it's mostly just KendyK. So KendyK does a lot of cooking and a lot of meal prep for that very reason. Yeah, I do like cooking. I do like preparing, and my body likes when I cook. My body likes when I cook at home versus eating in the road, because that food we eat in the road, y'all, is mostly trash, right? Yeah. Well, I will tell you, Liliana, this is what I was talking about when you came into the chat this afternoon. I was telling, apparently myself, because I didn't know I was on mute, but I was saying that I am naturally a very introverted person. So I'm shy myself. And do you know, Liliana, that I was on YouTube for almost a whole entire year, from January 2024 till about October 2024, without having ever shown my face. I never did. I never did. In fact, I don't know if you noticed this, Liliana, but I actually just got a picture on my profile. Remember, it used to be just be a K. And I know that YouTube is for everybody, right? So whatever your level of engagement, whatever you're comfortable with. But then once I finally showed my face, I was like, wow, what was I waiting for? So I don't know. Overthinking it. Overthinking it. There's no perfection in anything because we're not perfect, right? You just learn, and as your comfort level grows, you decide what's important for you. But there are a lot of YouTubers who are just voices. They do a lot of talking, and that's how I was doing it. Is and now what's stopping me from showing my face more is that I'm trying to show folks how to use their InstantPot, that beautiful computerized InstantPot that someone gave you for a gift or that you purchased with your own hard-earned money, and yet you've only used it once, right? Or you haven't ever used it at all. So I do a lot of InstantPot cooking, especially with your beans. Oh my God. I know how to make those dry beans that you can literally get for $1 a pack. And I recommend that you get those beans. At this moment in this country, we all need to be picking up plenty of those pinto beans, black beans, kidney beans, and my favorite, red beans, for red beans and rice. Okay? You need to be picking up as many of those packages as you can, because, friends, we are in a recession. If you haven't felt it yet in your household, you soon will, sooner than you know. Yeah. Okay, what are you cooking? What are you planning to cook in your Instapot? Do you know yet what you're gonna cook? Oh, it's the beef tongue. Yes, beef tongue would be amazing in an Instapot. Yes, because you can cook it in probably 1/3 the time. Oh gosh, that's gonna be great. Y'all drop in the chat because, oh my God. Liliana's gonna be cooking some beef tongue tacos. Ooh, I'm probably gonna pop over and see what that looks like once you get that going. Ooh, ooh. Now I'm trying to think. I want to say I've tasted beef tongue, but I think it was just boiled, or was it? How would you cook it if you didn't cook it in the Instapot? Would you just be boiling it on the back of the stove, or how would you cook it? It seems like I might have tasted it. Oh, okay. So you're gonna cook. That's a good. No, that's a good way to do it. Mm-hmm. Yep. It takes a long time. I don't know who cooked me some beef tongue, but I have had it. I've tasted beef tongue once. Right. Another dish, just like a pot roast. A pot roast is one of the cheapest cuts of beef that you can purchase. And so you do, it's all in the preparation. And so my pot roast was still a bit frozen in the middle, which is why I cut it into three smaller pieces. And that pot roast was a little under 2 pounds. It was like 1.7 pounds of pot roast. And so it's cooking under pressure for 35 minutes. And then I'm going to let it naturally depressurize on its own. So that's going to take another 25, 30 minutes, depending on the altitude and where you live in the country or where you live in the world. Sometimes it takes a little bit less time than that. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than that. But if I want to speed the process along, once it stops cooking, then I can hit the quick release button at the top. It's a black button on my machine. I can pull that towards me and that will release the pressure. Just make sure your face and your hands are not in the way, because all that steam, all that piping hot steam is going to come out of that pot. So you want to make sure that you don't get a steam burn from that. Which is why I mostly let when I've used the pressure cooker function on my Instapot, I mostly just let it naturally do the pressure release, just naturally. And you know that it is ready because that silver button that's now, it's it's not even flush. It's sticking straight up because my pot is under pressure. And that is our sound that our Instapot has finished the cooking function. And now it's going to go in that decompression mode. It's going to depressurize itself by letting out the pressure very slowly, just like it built up to pressure very slowly. So I've already pre-prepped my potatoes and my frozen carrots. I think I have frozen carrots in the freezer. I hope I do. And they're just frozen carrots, and I'm just gonna drop them in the pot, and then I'm gonna put my pot from the pressure function over to the slow cook function and let those cook. Yeah, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, this might be one of the first times that I have cooked pot roast in the Instapot. I have taken many times, I have taken a pot roast or any cut of beef, any cheap cut of beef. If you put it in the pot, in the Instapot, I love pepper steak. Okay, and you can make pepper steak out of any cut of beef, because once you put it in your Instapot, it's gonna tenderize that meat. That meat is gonna be under high pressure, and it's going to break down those fibers and tenderize them, giving you a delectable something to eat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Instapot, as we get deeper into this recession, the Instapot is your friend because it allows you to buy cheaper cuts of meat. Yeah, me and a friend did dinner at a steakhouse, and y'all, a New York strip was $45, and I was in Costco and Sam's Club, and I paid $35 for two New York strips, steaks. And a New York strip is half of a T-bone. Yeah. You know how a T-bone steak has two parts to it? Well, the New York strip is one half of that. Y'all, I grew up in the Midwest, so yeah, that's beef country, right? That is beef country. Yeah, so we ate a lot of steak and we ate a lot of pot roast. My mama used to put that pot roast on before we went to church. And baby, as we came home from church and stepped up on the front porch, you could smell that pot roast from the front door. And woo, yes, baby, we would get home from church, take off our church clothes, hang them back up, put on our play clothes, and my mama would be, she might need to fix the cornbread. Sometimes it would already be done, sitting on top of the stove, a skillet of cornbread to go with that pot roast, and potatoes and carrots. Yep. One of my favorite meals to this day. Yeah. Every time I fix pot roast, it makes me think of my mama and my papa, my daddy. Thank you for the heart, y'all. Thank you for sending me some love. I feel that love too. Y'all, I'm a new YouTube content creator, so give me some grace. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for the likes. Thanks for dropping in. Even Liliana, do you know at one point I had 11 folks in this chat? Well, they were 11 folks I saw 11 people were showing. And then I looked back up. I was just working, cooking, trying to get my meat prepared, and they were gone. Probably because I was talking and they couldn't hear anything. That is hilarious. I can't do anything but laugh. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Well, you enjoy cooking your beef tongue tacos, and I can't wait to hop over and see how your family receives that, and then you can catch me up on how long you cooked it in the InstantPot and all of that good stuff. Best to you, Liliana. I will see you in these YouTube streets. Yes, ma'am. So all we are doing now, friends, is our InstantPot just went off. All we're doing now is waiting for the InstantPot to depressurize, and it will be time for us to add the vegetables. So I'm going to go ahead and get a reset on the camera so that you all can see what's happening, and then I'll pull our vegetables out, and then I'll try to get the rest of the pressure out of the pot. Hey there, Chip, and thanks for joining me. Always good to see you, Chip. Thank you for hitting that like button. I see that too. I appreciate the support. Chip, I am 92 subscribers away from hitting 500 subscribers in these YouTube streets. So I appreciate your support today. And our pot roast is already cooked. I'm just waiting for it to naturally release the pressure on the InstantPot so that I can open the pot. You can't open the pot, Chip, until that button goes, this silver button here is all the way in. That's a safety function of the pot. So it's almost there, but it's just naturally releasing that pressure so that you don't hurt yourself. Because that's why food cooks 2 or 3 times as fast, like cooking this pot roast so quickly. It's under pressure. And so once I re-upload this video, I'll add this to my InstantPot meals. I have a whole playlist of InstantPot meals where I've cooked red beans and rice, pinto beans, pepper steak, anything that normally takes hours to cook. You could cook it in 1/3 the time or less in the InstantPot as a pressure cooker meal. And of course, all InstantPot meals are one-pot meals. And so, friends, you will notice that the button is all the way down now. So we should be able to open this pot without any problems. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm seeing something that looks real, real good. So what I'm going to do, y'all, is I'm going to drain the water from my potatoes. Look at that good au jus. Thanks to us adding the flour and flouring our meat. And we put it in the pot. And it looks like our meat can go a little bit longer, so I'm going to put this thing back under pressure, y'all. Ooh, y'all. It's almost there. It's almost there. Some people you could certainly eat it like this. But I want that stuff. It is fork tender. Look at that, y'all. I am, in fact, using this spoon. And it is breaking apart. Okay. Now this is beef roast, so it can be have a little pink inside and still be done. So it's certainly done. If you want it more done, then this was 35 minutes under pressure. This piece here is not as done as I would like to see it. So I think we'll try to, so I'm gonna go ahead and add our potatoes. And I cooked them, made them a smaller dice. And I'm also at the same time going to add get some scissors out here, some kitchen shears. I'm gonna add a package of, I thought I had just frozen carrots, but I didn't, so I have frozen peas and carrots, and that will do.